there's a phenomenon that happens where when seekers do the practice, their performance in various activities in life can seem to decrease. And this can be as simple as, at the very beginning, simply feeling like when one is doing surrender or inquiry that one is not able to do anything else at all, um, to specific activities that are particularly difficult, like reading, um, or activities where the person thought they were actually good at it, and suddenly the performance is now decreased as a result of the practice. Uh, there are many ways of thinking about why this appears to happen, but basically, this is a distortion caused by being in the thought based perspective. So, it's only within the thought based perspective, which is the perspective where it feels like I am uh, a separate individual, localized, doing, experiencing self who is in control of their own attention. Um, and that control then yields changes to the effects of different actions in the world, basically. It's only within that perspective that this idea that my doing the practice could affect my actions would make any sense whatsoever. In the true, um, I wouldn't say perspective, but in truth, really, none of that is as it seems to be. And this idea of shifting perspective at all itself is not what it seems to be. And it is not really the case, which is why ultimately the practice itself is just a stand-in for the truth. It's not what it seems to be. The practice itself not what it seems to be. So what's happening really is, you see, the thought-based perspective is not wholly rooted out for seekers for most of their seeking. Once it's wholly rooted out, the seeker is no longer seeking. So there's kind of reversions to that perspective, and those reversions to that perspective basically make it seem as if there is a possibility of shifting attention, and then there's a kind of interpretation of what then happens based on that. That interpretation also carries within it the seeds of profound doubt about the ability of things to happen without you being in control and putting in effort. Because it's simply inconceivable to the mind how things could operate without you operating them. Though in fact, that's exactly what's actually happening. The way the mind is constructed, it imposes a perspective whereby things are interpreted in a way where it seems like they're the effects of your willing them, basically. But that is an illusion. So what happens is the practice is not perfect. It falls into the back into the thought-based paradigm. In this paradigm, things are interpreted in terms of your being in control of your own actions. And from that perspective, then it appears as if you're turning attention away from your usual behaviors or something you want to focus on could only affect it in a negative way. There is a doubt about how things could proceed, and that doubt seemed to influence the action as well. And there are many ways to look at it. As well, you could say that the identity is trying to fight back in some sense. It's threatened by the practice. That's also true. But fundamentally, it comes down to you're still looking at things from a perspective from which the idea that you could shift your attention away and cause a change in the behavior on the ground makes sense. And what that really is showing is that the practice is not perfect, which obviously it isn't. It's only when the practice hesitates that you have these issues. It's like, the cartoon character walking across, across the air between two cliffs and suddenly looking down, right? When they look down, they fall. If they didn't look down, they wouldn't fall. So in the same way, if the practice continues and you say, for example, with respect to this issue, who's experiencing this idea that the activity is proceeding worse or not proceeding at all, if you stuck to the practice, if you surrender this idea that things are happening worse and stayed with the practice, there would be no room for the thought-based paradigm, for that thought-based perspective to make its interpretation. Because from the perspective of the absolute, which is not really a perspective at all, there is no possibility of shifting attention. There is no possibility of that non-existent shift of attention having an effect on events. And in fact, in some profound sense, there cannot be said to be events in the usual sense. I'm not saying nothing's happening. I'm saying there cannot be said to be events in the sense that we understand them to be events. So what this shows is basically that these drops in performance or some kind of inability to sustain the practice while doing other things are due to, for lack of a better phrase, imperfect faith and imperfect practice, and therefore a reversion to the thought-based perspective. Because from the thought-based or relative perspective, there are two paradigms. There's the relative and there's the absolute. But from the absolute perspective, there are no perspectives at all.